Hi everyone, and welcome to Sports Watch. If you like the content, please press the bell icon for further notifications and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bilal Muhammad is out of his UFC title fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov due to a bone infection in his foot, which had to be operated on. So now that means that Shavkat is left without an opponent for UFC 310. It also means all of a sudden the UFC are without a pay-per-view because who will fill up the top spot? They can't approach Alex Pereira because he has fought 3 times in the last 7 months. But the thought must have crossed their minds this time as well because these UFC right now are desperately short of stars. Who can save this pay-per-view? Shavkat Rakhmonov has asked for an interim title matchup instead. An interim title makes absolutely no sense since Belal only fought in July. It hasn't even been 5 months. So there is no rush to make another meaningless interim title. Plus, the injury sustained by Belal isn't a massive one. It will take a couple of weeks to recover. So Shavkat could have easily waited for a month or two and could have fought Bilal for the belt. But he wants to stay active and fight in December. Shavkat hasn't been that active recently. So it's good that he wants to have a fight in between to stay sharp for the title fight. But who is that fight going to be against? It's being reported that Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Kamaru Usman is in the works. Well, that's a blockbuster fight if it gets made and would be the ultimate replacement for the main event between Bilal and Shavkat. Usman versus Rakhmonov is a far better fight than Bilal versus Shavkat. It's a tougher fight for Shavkat because Usman isn't a cakewalk for anybody. Look at what he did against Shimaev in 10 days' notice. Had he got a proper camp for that fight, the outcome could have been very different. A full camp is exactly what we'll have for Shavkat. And it's a 5 round fight. If it is, it will be a nightmare for Rakhmonov. Firstly, this would be Shavkat's toughest test yet. He hasn't fought anybody of the caliber of Usman, and who, unlike him, grows stronger as the fight progresses. Secondly, Usman has the grappling and wrestling to negate Shavkat's grappling. On top, he's strong enough standing to knock him out as well. Look at what he did to George Masvidal. And Shavkat does get hit. In his eagerness to get into a firefight, he often gets into unnecessary exchanges. Jeff Neal did tag him a couple of times in their fight. Usman is a way smarter fighter than Neal is. So if you're not careful, things might not go too well for you. Also, Shavkat hasn't been in the deep waters. He has never fought 5 rounds. To his credit, he is a finisher and finishes every fight that he is in. But what happens if you can't finish someone? And Usman isn't the easiest guy to finish. It's no secret that he will be there till the final bell. So there are lots of unanswered questions. Shavkat has to be very mindful about conserving his energy. If he uses it too much in the beginning and can't get rid of Usman, then he might be ripe for the picking in the later rounds. The person whom this benefits the most is Bilal Muhammad. Both these guys are potential opponents for Bilal. To see them smash each other to bits would be quite satisfying for him. Whoever wins this fight between them is almost certain to face him next. Bilal has a history with both of them, more so with Usman. He even went on Usman's podcast and insulted him. Ever since Bilal has become the champion, he has been quite vociferous and has rubbed people the wrong way. So if he and Usman steps in the ring sometime, there would be no pleasantries and sparks would fly. With Shavkat, it's a bit different because he doesn't speak English. So for the most part, the trash talk could be lost in translation. But the man knows how to fight. He's a nomad from Kazakhstan. And people from that part of the world are tough as nails. They don't crave for all the riches of the world, but they do pride themselves in being warriors. Fighting is in their blood. All these guys have tough upbringings and they want to be the alpha male. And Safkat has trained with Khabib before, way before Bilal ever trained with him. So it's a difficult matchup for Bilal as well. Whatever Bilal does good, Safkat is equally good at it. And unlike Bilal, Safkat does have the power to knock someone out or submit him. Unlike Bilal, Safkat doesn't go to decisions, he finishes fights. So on paper, he's a far more interesting fighter than Bilal is. Bilal is one of the few champions in the UFC who hasn't, who doesn't rather have a knockout in his record, and his opponent is the mirror opposite of him. It's a clash of two personalities, it's a clash of two styles of fighting. And if we eventually get there, it will be an outstanding matchup. But for that to happen, Shavkat has to get past Usman, and that's easier said than done. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.